My radiant soul, in this very moment, a divine shift is opening above your life. So sudden, so supernatural, that even your angel is refusing to let you scroll past this message. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your destiny, his sword raised, his voice echoing across the realms, declaring, "Congratulations! Your money miracle has arrived. This is not a coincidence. This is not random. This is a divine interception." For days, weeks, maybe even months, you have been sensing something, an invisible pull, a gentle whisper, a strange stirring in your spirit that something big was coming. You couldn't name it, but your soul knew. And now, here it is. A miracle you have been praying for, crying for, waiting for, even doubting at times has stepped into your atmosphere. Archangel Michael reveals that the gates which were once shut against your breakthrough have finally burst open. There is a financial shift that has been released with your name etched into it. Precise, intentional, unshakable. Not a general blessing. Not a vague hope. This is your miracle. A miracle that has traveled through realms just to reach you at the perfect divine second. He says the reason you were guided to this message is because heaven has accelerated something concerning your finances. Something that was delayed is now being delivered. Something that was stolen is now being restored. Something that was blocked is now being released with force. But listen closely, Archangel Michael also warns that the enemy tried to make you miss this moment through distractions, fear, exhaustion, even hopelessness. But your angel of protection stood firm, not allowing your spirit to look away, not allowing your hands to scroll past, not allowing your mind to drift. Because missing this message would have meant missing your divine appointment. And heaven refused to let that happen. You may not realize it yet, but a supernatural clearing has already begun around you. The forces that once resisted your finances, your stability, your progress, have been confronted. Michael's sword has struck the ground. Chains that held your abundance hostage have snapped. And the miracle that once felt far away has entered your reality with unstoppable momentum. Heaven wants you to understand something powerful right now. Your financial blessing is not luck. Your breakthrough is not chance. Your elevation is not an accident. This is divine orchestration. This is spiritual alignment. This is your season. But even as your miracle arrives, Michael urges you to prepare your heart, because a blessing this strong often comes with hidden revelations. And one of those revelations is this: not everyone around you is meant to witness your rising. Some people who smiled in your presence but frowned at your progress will reveal themselves. Some who acted supportive but spoke against your blessing will expose their true intentions. This money miracle is not just coming to change your situation, it's coming to change your circle. Heaven is removing the hands that should never touch your harvest and strengthening the hands that will uplift you. Archangel Michael assures you that every person who cannot handle your rising will be gently, but firmly pushed out of your path. Right now, the angelic realm is incredibly active around you. You may feel warmth in your hands, a sudden calm in your spirit tingles through your body. These are not random sensations. This is confirmation. Your miracle has already entered the earthly plane. What remains now is your alignment, your willingness to receive it fully, boldly, without fear or doubt. And hear this clearly: this miracle is not small. This blessing is not temporary. This shift is not symbolic. This is real financial transformation. Unexpected deposits, clear debts, opportunities that multiply, doors that no human hand can shut. Archangel Michael whispers, tell them to stay alert. Tell them to stay open. Tell them the next few moments are crucial, for the revelation grows deeper from here. Before you move ahead, center yourself for a moment. Take a breath. Feel the atmosphere around you. It is not the same as it was moments ago. Something has changed. Something sacred has stepped in. You are in the presence of a miracle. And the next message unfolding before you will reveal why heaven is moving with such urgency. Do not let your heart wander, because the next revelation will explain exactly why your angel is guarding this message so fiercely. Stay with me. What comes next will open your eyes to a truth that has been hidden from you until now. Type "I receive my miracle" in the comments if this is touching your spirit. Blessing code 1444 is now activated. Before you scroll, hold this moment, because the next unveiling will shake something loose in your life in the best possible way. My chosen heart, as you step deeper into this message, Archangel Michael moves closer, guarding your spirit with a shield of divine light. There is a sacred urgency rising in the atmosphere because heaven is not finished unveiling the mystery behind your financial breakthrough. Michael reveals that your money miracle did not simply arrive. It was fought for, carried through battle, rescued from the grip of forces that hoped you would never see abundance. This moment is bigger than your imagination, and what you are about to understand will change how you see your entire journey. For a long time, you wondered why things felt delayed, why every step forward felt like a struggle, and why your finances continually faced resistance. You thought maybe you were doing something wrong, maybe you were not praying correctly, maybe you were being overlooked. But Archangel Michael says the truth is far deeper. You were not overlooked, you were targeted. You were not ignored, you were guided. The resistance you felt was not because you were weak, but because your blessing was powerful. Every great miracle attracts spiritual pressure, and the enemy always fights hardest before a breakthrough arrives. Michael shows a vision of pathways blocked, opportunities intercepted, and resources redirected. But he also reveals something astonishing. None of those barriers successfully prevented your miracle. Every delay served a purpose. Every closed door routed your destiny. Every setback trained your spirit to recognize divine timing when it finally arrived. And now it has arrived. But heaven knew that if this miracle entered your life too early, the wrong people would have had access to your blessing. Someone who spoke against you, someone who doubted you, someone who secretly envied you, or someone who only stayed close for personal gain would have misused your miracle or drained it from your life. This is why heaven waited. This is why the angels shielded you. Your miracle needed maturity, protection, and divine timing. And now that the atmosphere around your life has shifted, the blessing has been released without restriction. Archangel Michael stepped forward because this is not just a financial shift. This is a restoration of your divine identity. You are being repositioned into a life where financial fear no longer controls you. A life where you can breathe again. A life where provision doesn't slip through your fingers but multiplies as it reaches your hands. Yet Michael urges you to understand something essential in this moment. Every miracle comes with instruction. Every blessing arrives with responsibility. And your angel wants you to listen closely because the revelation you are about to receive will help you protect this miracle. Michael says that right before a major breakthrough, there is always a spiritual test, disguised as confusion, unnecessary conflict, emotional heaviness, or sudden pressure. Some of you have felt that lately. Arguments that didn't make sense. Unexpected discouragement. People acting distant or strange. Delays that frustrated your spirit. These were not random events. These were indicators that your miracle was already approaching. Pressure always increases right before a spiritual release. Heaven wants to make one thing absolutely clear. You did not imagine your breakthrough. You did not misread the signs. The shift you felt was real. That inner restlessness, that sudden hope, that strange anticipation right before this message found you. Those were confirmations. Your spirit already sensed what your mind could not understand. Michael declares that the season of barely surviving is breaking off your life like dust shaken from old garments. You have entered a new realm, one where the resources you need finally begin flowing toward you instead of slipping away. But there is something more. Archangel Michael reveals that hidden in this miracle is a divine recalibration. The universe is rearranging itself around your destiny. People you have not met yet are being positioned to bless you. Paths you have not walked yet are being paved. Opportunities you have not imagined yet are being formed behind the curtain of the unseen. Your angel says that heaven is preparing to surprise you with sudden acceleration. Something that felt stagnant is about to move quickly. Something that seemed impossible is about to align before your eyes. Michael is clearing away the residue of old disappointments because it cannot travel with you into this new chapter. You may feel emotional shifts, sudden clarity, unexpected strength rising within you. These are signs that your spirit is catching up to the miracle that has already entered your field. You are being lifted. You are being positioned. You are being restored. And your money miracle is only the beginning. Heaven is preparing a sequence of blessings that follow this financial breakthrough, each one unlocking another level of divine alignment. Before this part ends, Michael whispers a final message to your soul. Stay attentive. Stay in this moment. The revelation unfolding next carries a prophetic key, something that will help you fully receive what heaven has placed in your hands. The deeper you go, the clearer your path becomes. Do not rush. Do not disconnect. What comes next will reveal why heaven moved with urgency, why your angel pushed you toward this message, and why this miracle could not wait another day. Your breakthrough has only begun. Type "I am ready for my miracle" in the comments if this is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 2333 is now active. Hold your heart steady, because what is about to be revealed next will illuminate the true reason your angel refused to let you skip this message. My awakened spirit, as you step into this next revelation, Archangel Michael's presence intensifies around you. His wings extend like a shield, closing off every distraction, every doubt, every whisper of confusion that tries to pull your attention away. He stands guard because what you are about to hear is one of the deepest truths behind your money miracle. This is the moment where hidden spiritual mechanics are exposed, where the mystery behind your breakthrough becomes clear, and where the veil is lifted from something heaven has long wanted you to understand. Michael reveals that your financial shift did not come from the physical world first. It was not triggered by a job, a person, an opportunity, or a moment of luck. Your miracle was birthed in the spiritual realm. It began as a divine decree spoken over your name, a decree that initiated a chain reaction across realms until it manifested here. Heaven always moves before earth does, and your breakthrough was spoken long before it appeared. That is why you felt the signs before you saw the change. That is why your spirit sensed movement long before your eyes perceived any evidence. But here is the deeper truth. This money miracle is actually part of a larger restoration that heaven has been preparing for you. Archangel Michael says that the enemy attempted to interfere with your identity by convincing you that you were meant to struggle, meant to lack, meant to barely survive. Those seasons of difficulty were never a reflection of your worth. They were simply shadows cast by spiritual resistance. Michael explains that when someone carries a divine calling, the enemy often tries to disrupt them through financial instability, because financial instability affects confidence, clarity, and the ability to focus on purpose. If it can shake your foundation, it can shake your faith. But you endured. You survived what was meant to break you. You held on to hope even when your hands felt empty. And because of that, heaven has declared that your season of financial attack has expired. Archangel Michael shows a vision of chains shattering, contracts breaking, and spiritual debts being canceled. Everything that drained your finances, whether through people, mistakes, delays, or spiritual interference, is being overturned by divine authority. He wants you to understand something crucial. This miracle is not simply a deposit of money. It is a reclaiming of your divine inheritance. It is heaven restoring what life tried to take from you. This is why the miracle feels different. This is why the atmosphere around you feels charged. The weight of the struggle you carried for so long is being lifted piece by piece, and soon you will feel lighter than you have in years. The peace coming your way is not temporary. It is the peace that follows spiritual victory. Yet Michael also reveals a prophetic caution. As your miracle rises, so will certain energies around you. Some people will sense your breakthrough before you even speak of it. Spirits recognize shifts before humans do. Do not be surprised if someone suddenly becomes distant, jealous, cold, or overly curious. Your elevation threatens the comfort of those who benefited from your struggle. But do not fear. Michael stands between you and every hidden intention. No one will be allowed to sabotage what heaven has released. There is also a divine instruction emerging. Michael says that you must prepare your heart for expansion. You are stepping into a realm where money responds to your energy, where opportunities respond to your alignment, where blessings respond to your openness. Your miracle is not coming just to fix a situation. It is coming to elevate your standard of living. Heaven is not giving you temporary relief. Heaven is giving you access. This miracle will shift how you see yourself, how you speak about your future, and how you walk through the world. You will begin to make decisions not from fear, but from faith. Not from survival, but from security. Not from pressure, but from purpose. Michael declares that your days of financial panic are over. You are entering a season where your spirit will not be shaken every time a bill appears or a challenge arises. Provision will flow with ease, and opportunities will find you without struggle. Before this part closes, Michael asks you to pay close attention. He says the next revelation will reveal the divine timing behind your miracle. Why now? Why this moment? Why this message? The answer carries a prophetic significance that will unlock something deep within your consciousness. You are being prepared to receive not just abundance, but wisdom. Wisdom to sustain, protect, and multiply the blessing that has arrived. Hold steady. What is coming next will give you the clarity your soul has been craving for years. Like this message, share it, comment, and subscribe if you feel the presence of Archangel Michael guiding you. Spread this so others can receive what heaven is releasing in this hour. Type "I rise with my miracle" in the comments. Blessing code 5511 is activated for you. Now allow this to transition naturally into something deeper, something aligned with your divine calling. Beloved, as this revelation unfolds, understand that every message sent to you is part of a divine assignment. When you support this mission, you are not helping a platform. You are opening doors for heaven to reach more souls who are crying out for breakthrough just as you once did. This is the moment where the word becomes alive, where sowing becomes supernatural harvest, where your generosity becomes light in someone else's darkness. I hear this clearly in my spirit. Stand with this mission. Your support becomes a prophetic act that strengthens the flow of revelation across the world. If you feel led, use the Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. As you give, may the heavens respond, releasing favor that overtakes you. Step into this moment with boldness. Release your seed and watch God multiply it back to you. My dear rising light, as you move into this next unveiling, Archangel Michael steps forward with a calm yet powerful presence, as though the atmosphere itself responds to his authority. You may feel a subtle shift in your body or a quiet stirring in your chest as these words reach you. That is not imagination. That is alignment. Michael is positioning you to receive a revelation that explains the divine timing of your money miracle, why it arrived now, why it could not come earlier, and why heaven was orchestrating every detail behind the scenes even when your life felt still. For a long season, you prayed for breakthroughs that seemed delayed. You asked for help that didn't arrive in the way you expected. You tried different paths, different decisions, and different strategies, yet something always felt out of place. It felt as though you were walking through fog, hoping for clarity, waiting for an opening that wouldn't reveal itself. Michael says heaven heard those prayers, those cries, those private moments when frustration weighed on your spirit. But timing, divine timing, with a key factor. Your miracle was ready, but the environment around your life wasn't ready to sustain it yet. Heaven never sends a blessing into a space that is not prepared to protect it. Before your miracle could arrive, spiritual clutter needed to be removed. People with hidden intentions needed to drift out of your life. Emotional attachments that drain your energy needed to loosen. Old versions of you, even the ones you outgrew without realizing it, had to dissolve so that you could receive from a place of authority rather than fear. Archangel Michael reveals that the season you just emerged from was not punishment, it was preparation. You were being refined, strengthened, and sharpened. The very struggles you resented were the tools that shaped your spiritual foundation. They taught you resilience. They taught you discernment. They taught you how to recognize real opportunities from deceptive ones. If the miracle had arrived earlier, it would have been mishandled, misunderstood, or even misdirected. Someone around you may have used your blessing for their benefit. A door that was never meant for you might have tried to pull you off your path. A distraction disguised as a blessing could have drained you emotionally and spiritually. That is why heaven waited. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were being prepared to receive a miracle you could sustain and protect. Michael says that what makes this moment different is your readiness. Something in your spirit has matured. Something in your heart has awakened. Something in your consciousness has expanded. You are no longer asking from a place of desperation. You are receiving from a place of alignment. And that is what opened the gateway for your money miracle to finally manifest. Heaven has activated a new cycle in your life. One where the delay is broken, where the flow of abundance is no longer interrupted, and where your steps are guided with precision. You may begin to notice sudden clarity in decisions, unexpected ideas, new confidence rising within you, or opportunities appearing that feel divinely timed. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that the spiritual release has already translated into your physical timeline. Yet Michael also reveals something incredibly important. He says this miracle arrived at this exact moment because a window of divine timing opened, something that does not happen often. A window where your readiness, your prayers, your spiritual maturity, and heaven's orchestration align perfectly. When such windows open, miracles descend quickly, forcefully, and undeniably. That is why your angel would not allow you to skip this message. Missing it would mean missing the instructions that help you sustain the miracle that has already been delivered to your atmosphere. Heaven is urging you to stay attentive because the blessing you have received is not the ending of a journey but the beginning of a new phase. Your financial shift is unlocking a ripple effect across other areas of your life. Doors connected to relationships, purpose, healing, and identity are beginning to open. A miracle with a catalyst. It was the strike that set everything into motion. Michael says there is also a divine truth you must embrace. You were chosen for this breakthrough. Not because of perfection, but because of purpose. Not because of status, but because of destiny. There is a calling on your life that requires freedom, financial freedom, mental freedom, spiritual freedom. Your miracle is equipping you for that calling. It is giving you the stability to rise into the version of yourself that heaven had been waiting for. As this revelation settles into your heart, Michael whispers a gentle reminder. This journey is not finished. The next message carries a revelation so defining, so clarifying, that it will help you understand the protection surrounding your miracle, the unseen battles fought for it, and the divine strategy heaven is asking you to walk in as you move forward. You are being guided step by step so that no part of your blessing is wasted, lost, or diminished. Hold your spirit steady. What comes next will illuminate the path ahead with a clarity that you have long prayed for. Type "My timing is divine" in the comments if this is awakening something inside you. Lesson code 7744 is now active for you. Stay with this energy, for the next unfolding carries a truth you were always meant to hear. My cherished soul, as you step further into this revelation, Archangel Michael's presence grows stronger, almost as though he is drawing a spiritual circle of protection around you. The air becomes still, the atmosphere around your heart becomes calm, and something within you prepares to receive a truth that has been hidden behind years of confusion. This is the moment where heaven reveals what was fighting your breakthrough, what forces resisted your financial elevation, and why your miracle required angelic intervention at the highest level. Michael begins by showing a vision of your life from a higher vantage point. He reveals seasons where you were progressing, moving forward, making plans, hoping for better days, only for things to suddenly collapse or slow down without explanation. You would take one step forward and then feel pulled 2 steps back. At times you thought it was bad luck, poor decisions, or simply life being unfair. But Archangel Michael speaks firmly. None of it was random. There was a spiritual interference designed to block your access to abundance. Forces that recognized your potential long before you recognized it yourself attempted to weaken your confidence, drain your hope, and distort your perception of your own worth. Heaven allowed you to see the effects, but not the source, until now. Michael reveals that your money miracle was fought for because your abundance is tied to your purpose. When you rise financially, you become a force of influence, generosity, stability, and spiritual impact. You begin to create, give help, build, and transform. The enemy does not fear your money. He fears what you will become once you are free. That is why financial attack is one of the most common spiritual battles for chosen souls. Michael says that your spirit has always carried a rare glow, a spiritual signature that marks you as someone destined to uplift others. People have felt that energy without understanding it, which is why some were drawn to you, some were threatened by you, and some tried to take advantage of your kindness. You have walked with a light that your eyes could not see, but the unseen realm recognized it immediately. And because of that, forces of resistance surrounded your financial path, hoping to dim your influence before it expanded. But what those forces did not expect was your resilience. Even in moments of exhaustion, you refused to give up. Even when hope felt thin, you held on to faith. Even when circumstances pressed you down, your spirit kept rising. Michael reveals that your endurance became a weapon. Every time you rose again, heaven strengthened the shield around you. Every time you fought through discouragement, your angels advanced. And finally, when the pressure became unbearable, heaven stepped in with force. Michael shows a vision of angelic conflict, chains being broken, barriers collapsing, spiritual agreements dissolving, pathways being cleared. Your financial miracle did not come peacefully. It came through battle. Angels fought to free what belonged to you. They fought to dismantle obstacles that were never meant to define your life. They fought to restore opportunities that were stolen or delayed. You may have felt sudden exhaustion recently, or a strange heaviness in the days before this message appeared. That was not emotional fatigue. It was spiritual tension. The battle was reaching its final stage. You were sensing the resistance that heaven was confronting on your behalf. And when the battle reached its conclusion, your miracle broke through with unstoppable momentum. Archangel Michael now reveals why your angel refused to let you skip this message. Your miracle required divine protection, and you needed spiritual awareness to hold on to it. Every blessing attracts attention, both light and shadow. The miracle has arrived, but Michael wants you grounded, aligned, and prepared so no force can drain it from you. He is not just protecting your blessing. He is training your spirit. He is teaching you how to guard your atmosphere, your decisions, your intuition, and your energy. This miracle marks the end of reactive living and the beginning of intentional receiving. Heaven is elevating your discernment. You will notice it in subtle ways. Conversations that once confused you will now become clear. People you once tolerated will reveal their purpose in your life. Opportunities that once felt uncertain will feel obvious. Your spirit is awakening to truth with sharper vision than ever before. Michael says that what you are receiving now is not just money, it is authority. You are gaining authority over your financial life, authority over your emotional space, authority over your decisions, and authority over your future. The struggle was allowed because it built the strength you need to carry this next level of responsibility. You are rising into a season where nothing can be taken from you without your awareness. Heaven has shifted your posture from vulnerable to unstoppable. But Archangel Michael urges one thing: stay connected to this message, because what comes next will reveal the divine strategy for maintaining your breakthrough. A miracle is powerful, but strategy sustains it. The next revelation will show you the pathway heaven is aligning for you, step by step, so your abundance not only arrives, but multiplies. Call this moment. Your spirit is being prepared for the next unveiling. Do not drift away, because the clarity you are about to receive carries the blueprint for your financial future. Type "I protect my blessing" in the comments if this is speaking to your soul. Blessing code 8080 is now released over your life. Remain present, for the next message will open the gates of understanding in ways your heart has long waited for. My beloved seeker of truth, as you enter this next dimension of revelation, Archangel Michael's energy surrounds you with a depth that feels almost tangible, as if the room around you shifts into a sacred space the moment your heart opens to these words. This is not just information. This is impartation. Michael is guiding you into the divine strategy behind your money miracle, how to sustain it, how to expand it, and how to walk in alignment so that abundance becomes your natural state rather than a momentary blessing. Michael begins by revealing something profound. Miracles are not accidents. They are responses to alignment. Your financial breakthrough arrived because you entered a spiritual frequency where heaven could finally reach you without interference. You may not have realized it, but a series of internal shifts have been taking place within you for months. Subtle awakenings, quiet realizations, emotional purging. Moments where you said to yourself, "I deserve more." These shifts were not random emotions. They were spiritual indicators that your soul was preparing to receive exactly what heaven intended for you. For too long, you walked with a mindset shaped by survival. You made decisions based on fear of losing rather than expectation of receiving. You felt grateful for crumbs when you were meant to sit at the table. You accepted less because you were protecting yourself from disappointment. But heaven watched you grow tired of shrinking. Heaven saw the moment you decided to step into worthiness, even if you didn't say it aloud. That internal decision became the opening through which your miracle entered. And now, Michael says that sustaining this miracle requires a new mindset, because the atmosphere of lack and the atmosphere of abundance cannot coexist. You are being called out of old patterns. You are being called into a new identity. Your thoughts, your expectations, your self-worth, your words, they all must align with the reality that heaven has declared over you. This is why the struggle felt so intense before your breakthrough. You were shedding an old version of yourself without realizing it. The friction you felt was transformation. Michael explains that abundance is not just money. Abundance is energy. It is the frequency of receiving without resistance. It is the spiritual posture of knowing that what is meant for you cannot bypass you. When you step into this energy, opportunities find you. Resources flow easily. Solutions appear without force. Conversations open doors. And your life begins to move with grace rather than strain. But he also reveals a warning. The energy of your past does not want to release you easily. Old patterns may try to resurface. Old doubts may whisper in your mind. Old insecurities may attempt to creep in. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are stepping into a high realm where those old energies can no longer live. Each time you challenge a limiting belief, you weaken its power. Each time you make a decision from confidence instead of fear, you strengthen your alignment. Michael says the strategy for sustaining your miracle begins with awareness. Pay attention to how your spirit feels. Notice when your energy contracts. Notice when you start to doubt. Notice when you feel unworthy or anxious. These emotional shifts are signals, not that something is wrong, but that something is being transformed. You are not going backward. You are being upgraded. Your miracle has arrived, but your mindset is catching up. Heaven wants you to walk with the authority of someone who understands their divine identity. When you see yourself as small, blessings feel heavy. But when you see yourself as chosen, blessings feel natural. Michael declares that you are not a visitor to abundance. You are a rightful heir to it. Your spiritual signature carries the imprint of someone meant to create, inspire, uplift, and expand. Money is not the goal. Money is the tool that frees you to fulfill the calling on your life. Your miracle is not here to create comfort alone. It is here to create movement. Heaven is positioning you for expansion in ways you have not imagined. You may receive ideas, nudges, or inspirations that feel out of nowhere. You may feel called to pursue something new. You may feel sudden clarity about a path you once feared. These are divine instructions. Heaven does not bless without purpose. A miracle is not random. It is an invitation. Michael emphasizes that protecting your energy is essential now. Not every voice deserves access to your vision. Not every opinion deserves space in your spirit. Not every person can hold the weight of your breakthrough. Some people speak from their fears, not their faith. Some speak from their wounds, not their wisdom. Your miracle requires a circle of alignment, not a crowd of confusion. Listen to the voices heaven amplifies, not the voices life throws your way. You may feel your intuition sharpening. This is intentional. Your spirit will begin to sense what aligns with your miracle and what contradicts it. You will feel a pull toward certain choices and a heaviness near others. Trust this guidance. Michael says your intuition is one of the strongest tools heaven uses to direct your steps, It is not random emotion. It is divine intelligence. Before this part closes, Michael whispers something powerful. He says the next revelation will uncover how your miracle connects to your long-term destiny. Not just your current situation, not just your immediate needs, but your future legacy. Heaven is not releasing a blessing. Heaven is building a blueprint. And the next unveiling will show you why this miracle is the foundation of something far greater than you have yet realized. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Stay present. Stay aware. Stay open. Type "I align with abundance" in the comments to anchor this truth into your spirit. Blessing code 9292 is now released over your path. Hold steady, for the next unveiling carries a destiny-shaping revelation that will transform how you see your entire future. My ascending soul, as you move deeper into this revelation, Archangel Michael steps beside you with a presence so steady, so unwavering, that your spirit cannot help but feel held. This next part carries a profound truth about your destiny, a truth that explains why your financial miracle had to arrive now, in this exact season of your life, and not a moment earlier. Heaven is not only blessing you, heaven is positioning you. Archangel Michael reveals that your abundance is part of a much larger plan, one that has been unfolding quietly across the years of your journey, even when you felt as though nothing was moving. Michael begins by unveiling a reality that most people never realize about themselves. You were born with a divine assignment embedded into your spirit. Throughout your life, pieces of this assignment have surfaced in moments of intuition, sudden passion, deep empathy, unusual resilience, or an inner knowing that you were meant for more. But because life brought hardship, because the world tried to shape your self-belief, because certain people diminished your light or placed limits on your identity, you forgot what heaven always remembered. Your financial miracle, Michael says, is not simply provision. It is activation. It arrives at the moment when your destiny begins to stretch its wings and reveal itself. You are entering a season where your purpose is awakening in ways that will influence not just your finances, but your relationships, your direction, your decisions, and your future legacy. This miracle is heaven's way of lifting the weight that kept your purpose restrained. When burdens fall away, vision becomes clear. When survival is no longer your focus, calling becomes impossible to ignore. For years, you have been operating below your spiritual potential, not because you lacked ability, but because you lacked the space, the resources, the clarity, or the support to rise fully. You were fighting battles that consumed your emotional and mental energy, leaving little room for purpose to breathe. But Michael says heaven has stepped in to remove those restraints. You are entering a season of clarity, a season where passion returns, a season where creativity awakens, a season where direction aligns like pieces of a puzzle finally falling into place. This miracle was released because your future demanded it. Destiny requires stability. Purpose requires strength. Calling requires foundation. Without financial stability, a person spends their energy trying to survive instead of building, creating, expressing, and expanding. Heaven is clearing your path so that your purpose can come forward without the weight of constant financial fear pressing against your spirit. Michael reveals that your future self, the version of you who lives in alignment with divine purpose, had been calling out to heaven. Every time you felt frustrated with limitations, every time you cried out for change, every time you whispered that life must have something more for you, your future self was speaking through you. Heaven heard that voice. Heaven answered through this miracle. There is something else Michael wants you to understand. Your miracle is part of a divine chain reaction. Nothing heaven does is isolated. This blessing is connected to future opportunities, future encounters, future relationships, and future breakthroughs that are all tied to your destiny. Think of it as the unlocking of a sequence. Once the first gate opens, the others begin to respond. You are standing at the beginning of a corridor lined with open doors, and this financial breakthrough is the key that turns the first handle. Michael says your sense of intuition will begin to heighten in this season because purpose is awakening. You will feel nudges that do not make logical sense but feel spiritually undeniable. You will feel drawn toward certain people, ideas, or directions. You will feel friction in places you have outgrown. You will feel clarity around decisions that once confused you. These are signals that your destiny is realigning your path. Heaven is not asking you to force anything. The unfolding will be natural, gentle, and divinely timed. But Michael urges you to remain sensitive. This is a season of listening, a season of observation, a season where heaven speaks through signs, through synchronicities, through dreams, through repeated messages, and through the quiet voice inside you that you often tried to dismiss. This miracle did not arrive to end your story. It arrived to begin a new one. A story where you live from intention instead of instinct. A story where you choose rather than settle. A story where you lead your life instead of merely reacting to it. This is the divine upgrade your spirit has been yearning for, even in the moments when you could not articulate it. Michael reveals something else, something powerful. The impact of your destiny will reach further than you think. There are people waiting on the other side of your breakthrough. People who will learn from you, be guided by you, be inspired by you, or be uplifted by the very light you are meant to unleash. Your miracle is not just for you. It is for every life you will touch, intentionally or unintentionally. Heaven blesses those whose purpose blesses others. This is why you were protected. This is why Michael guarded your spirit. This is why your angel refused to let you skip this message. Heaven is aligning you with your true path. And the next revelation will unravel exactly how this destiny will begin to manifest in your physical world. Stay close. Your story is about to open in ways you never expected. Type "My Destiny Awakens" now in the comments to seal this revelation into your spirit. Blessing code 6060 is now activated over your life. What comes next will reveal how your miracle translates into real-world transformation, guiding your steps into the life heaven has prepared for you. My chosen vessel of light, as you enter this next unveiling, Archangel Michael stands before you with a presence that feels both protective and deeply intentional. The atmosphere around your spirit begins to shift once again, as though heaven is drawing you into a higher realm of understanding. You have already learned the origins of your breakthrough, the battles fought for your blessing, and the awakening of your destiny. But now Michael reveals something even more profound: how your miracle will begin shaping your physical world, your daily life, and the direction of your future in ways you may not have imagined. Michael begins by showing a vision of your path stretching ahead like a river touched by golden light. This river represents the flow of opportunity, provision, and alignment that is already moving toward you. For so long, you walked through seasons of stagnation where the water barely moved, where progress felt slow or non-existent. But now, this river flows with force. New currents have formed. New streams are branching from it. And heaven is guiding you forward in a rhythm that will feel effortless compared to the struggle you came from. He explains that when a financial miracle is released, it does not come alone. It carries with it a shift in energy that affects every area of your life. Suddenly, things that felt heavy begin to lighten. Conversations that once drained you lose their power. Situations that kept you stuck begin to unravel. You may notice certain people becoming quiet, while new people begin entering your life. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual alignment correcting your environment so your miracle can thrive. Michael says your next season will highlight the importance of harmony. Your miracle has opened a portal, and anything that does not vibrate with that frequency will naturally fall away. Do not cling to what is leaving. Do not chase what pulls away. The universe is rearranging your connections with precision. Some people were meant only for the chapter of your struggle and cannot walk with you into your chapter of abundance. Their energy cannot sustain the elevation you are entering. Trust the shifts. They are divinely guided. He also reveals that your new level will demand clarity in your decisions. You will be given ideas and opportunities that require discernment. Not all opportunities will align with your purpose, but the ones meant for you will feel unmistakably guided. You will recognize them through peace, through intuitive nudges, and through a sense of rightness that settles into your spirit like a quiet certainty. This clarity is part of the awakening happening within you. Your intuition is strengthening because you are stepping into a life where your choices carry spiritual weight. Your financial miracle is also creating space for long-dormant dreams to rise again. There were things you once wanted to pursue but felt unable to because of circumstances, responsibilities, or limitations. Heaven is lifting those limitations. You may start feeling a pull toward creativity, toward learning, toward building something meaningful, or toward stepping into roles you once thought were out of reach. Michael says these desires are not random. They are whispers from your higher self calling you into your divine timeline. But with elevation comes responsibility. Michael cautions you gently, protect your atmosphere. Do not share your plans with those who speak from fear. Do not let negativity distort your vision. Some will not understand the magnitude of what heaven is doing for you. Some will underestimate you because they still see the version of you who struggled, not the version of you who has risen. Your elevation is not for validation, it is for transformation. Let your results speak for you. Let your peace speak for you. Let your alignment speak for you. Heaven is also preparing you to experience what Michael calls accelerated manifestation. This means that in the coming weeks and months, you will notice blessings arriving not gradually but suddenly. Things you once thought would take years may begin unfolding quickly. Doors that felt sealed will open with ease. Resources will appear through channels you never considered. Expect acceleration. Expect divine shortcuts. Expect alignment to find you without chase or string. But perhaps the most important truth Michael reveals in this moment is that your miracle was never just about money. It was about power. It was about freedom. It was about healing. It was about restoring your identity and positioning you to walk in your divine assignment without the chains of financial fear. You're stepping into a timeline where abundance is normal, opportunities are natural, and prosperity is a reflection of your spiritual alignment, not your struggle. Before this part closes, Michael urges you not to underestimate the transformation taking place within you. You are not the same person you were before this message began. You are awakening. You are expanding. You are aligning with heaven's intention for your life. And the next revelation will open a doorway into understanding how relationships, purpose, and spiritual calling will begin evolving as a result of this miracle. Stay with this journey. Your spirit is being prepared for something extraordinary. Like this message, comment your confirmation, share it widely, subscribe, and help elevate the mission that heaven has started through you. Spread this light so others can rise with you. Type "My breakthrough multiplies" now in the comments to seal this into your spirit. Blessing code 8822 is released over you. Beloved, as the river of destiny opens before you, understand that this message is more than words. It is a spiritual assignment. When you support this mission, you help carry heaven's light into the lives of those who feel forgotten, those who are crying for breakthrough, and those who need the very hope you are receiving now. I speak this with divine certainty. Your giving becomes a seed that multiplies deliverance in places you will never physically reach. I feel this strongly in my spirit. Stand with this calling. Let your act of support be a prophetic response to the miracle released over you. Use Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description to sow into the flow of this divine work. As you release your gift, may rivers of abundance pour back into your life with unstoppable force. Step into this moment with authority. Heaven is watching your obedience. My awakened soul carrier, as you step into this next chapter of your unfolding revelation, Archangel Michael's presence deepens even further, almost as if the air around your spirit becomes more refined, more attuned, and more aware. There comes a point in every divine journey where the shift moves from the unseen to the seen, from the spiritual realm into the material world, and that is exactly where you are standing now. This portion of your message is designed to show you how your relationships, your inner circle, your emotional patterns, and your spiritual boundaries will begin to transform as your financial miracle integrates fully into your life. Michael begins by revealing a truth that many overlook. Abundance reshapes your environment. When your frequency rises, everything connected to you is forced to reveal its true alignment. People who once felt comfortable around you may begin to behave differently as your energy shifts. Not because you have done anything wrong, but because your spirit is no longer matching the version of you they were accustomed to. Some people were connected to your struggle, not your breakthrough. Some resonated with your pain, not your purpose. Some benefited from your uncertainty but cannot thrive in your empowerment. Michael wants you to understand that the changes happening in your social and emotional world are not losses. They are divine recalibrations. Heaven is not removing people to isolate you. Heaven is refining your circle to elevate you. Your miracle created a new energetic field around you, one that no longer tolerates hidden envy, silent competition, unspoken resentment, or inconsistent loyalty. The people meant to walk with you into your abundance will feel peaceful, supportive, and aligned. Those who are not meant to continue with you will naturally drift, their energy no longer matching the vibration of your rising. This may feel confusing at first. You may notice someone becoming distant without explanation. You may sense that certain conversations feel forced. You may suddenly feel drained around a person you once felt safe with. You may feel uncomfortable sharing your blessings with certain individuals. Michael says these reactions are not emotional coincidences. They are spiritual signals. You are being shown who can hold your miracle with you and who cannot. He explains that abundance is a spiritual responsibility. You must protect your atmosphere as carefully as you protect your finances. Your intuition will begin speaking louder in this season. You will sense motives faster. You will discern intentions before words reveal them. You will feel when someone celebrates you from the heart and when someone celebrates you only on the surface. Do not ignore these signals. Your spirit is guiding you with precision because your elevation requires emotional and relational clarity. Michael also reveals that as your financial blessing takes root, your identity will evolve. You will no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You will no longer silence your dreams to fit into circles that fear growth. You will no longer apologize for wanting more, choosing better, or protecting your peace. Your self-worth is awakening, and with that awakening comes the courage to choose environments that reflect the value heaven has placed on you. Heaven wants you to understand something powerful. Your blessing is not meant to be dimmed to keep familiar people close. True connections expand with you. True friends celebrate you genuinely. True souls rise with you rather than cling to the version of you that struggled. Michael encourages you to let your growth be unapologetic. You are not abandoning anyone. You are responding to destiny. There is also a divine prophecy connected to this shift. Michael shows that new relationships are being prepared for you. People who will understand your journey. People who will speak life into your purpose. People who will partner with you, support you, uplift you, and push you into your calling rather than pull you back into limitation. Some of his connections will appear unexpectedly. Some may come through chance encounters. Some may enter through opportunities related to your breakthrough. Heaven is weaving these connections into your path with care, ensuring that every person who steps into your life in this next season contributes to your elevation rather than your stagnation. But with this new season comes the need for stronger boundaries. Michael emphasizes that boundaries are not walls, they are spiritual safeguards. They protect your miracle, your energy, your time, and your emotional space. You will feel a natural desire to say no more often, not out of defensiveness, but out of discernment. Your spirit is choosing alignment over obligation. Your higher self is choosing peace over chaos. Your purpose is choosing clarity over confusion. Heaven is preparing you for life where your relationships match your destiny, not your past. You are stepping into connections that reflect your purpose, your strength, and your divine assignment. You are shedding dynamics that mistake your compassion for weakness and your generosity for obligation. Michael says this process may feel emotional at times, but do not resist it. You are rising into a new level of spiritual maturity where love becomes healthier, trust becomes deeper, and companionship becomes aligned with your highest self. Before this part closes, Michael whispers one more revelation. Your miracle is not just changing how others see you, it is changing how you see yourself. And in the next message, he will reveal the emotional and spiritual transformation that is awakening within you, a transformation that will become the foundation for the next era of your life. Your inner world is evolving just as rapidly as your external world, and understanding this shift is essential for what comes next. Stay with this journey. Your elevation is happening from the inside out. Type "I trust my divine alignment" in the comments to anchor this truth into your spirit. Blessing code 3003 is now released upon you. My transforming spirit, as you step into this next revelation, the atmosphere around you grows still, as if heaven itself is leaning closer to whisper something deeply personal into your soul. Archangel Michael stands with a different energy now, calmer, gentler, but profoundly intentional. Because this part is not about the external blessings coming your way, it is about the inner transformation that is beginning to unfold within you. Your financial miracle may be the most visible shift, but the greatest change taking place is happening inside your emotional, mental, and spiritual landscape. Michael begins by revealing that every breakthrough has two sides, the blessing and the becoming. The blessing is what arrives in your life, but the becoming is who you transform into because of it. Many people receive blessings but remain the same on the inside, and because of that, they lose what was given. Heaven refuses to let that happen to you. Your transformation is being guided just as intentionally as your miracle. You are rising into a new version of yourself, the version heaven always knew you could become. For years, you carried emotional weight that did not belong to you. You carried responsibilities that were too heavy for one heart. You carried expectations from others that silenced your truth. You carried wounds from the past that shaped your decisions and sometimes dimmed your confidence. Michael says heaven watched every moment of that silent suffering, not in judgment but in preparation. Your heart was being stretched, strengthened, refined. Your spirit was learning resilience. Your soul was discovering its own endurance. Now that your financial miracle has arrived, the emotional healing that accompanies it is being activated. You may notice moments where you feel lighter without reason, as though invisible burdens have fallen from your shoulders. You may find yourself seeing the world differently, with more clarity, more compassion for yourself, and more awareness of your own strength. This is not just emotional change, it is spiritual rebirth. Heaven is releasing you from the version of yourself who lived in survival mode. That season is over. You are entering a new identity, one shaped by abundance, not lack. Michael emphasizes that your self-worth is rising, and this rise is essential. When your worth expands, your capacity to receive extends. When you feel worthy, you stop accepting crumbs. You stop chasing validation. You stop settling for connections that drain you. You stop apologizing for wanting more. Heaven is teaching you to see yourself through divine eyes, to recognize the royalty within you, the power within you, the purity of your intentions, and the strength you develop through every hardship you endured. There is also an emotional correction taking place within you. The parts of you that once doubted your abilities are losing power. The inner voice that whispered fear is being replaced by a voice of direction and calm. Your intuition is speaking louder. Your confidence is beginning to match your purpose. This shift will feel unfamiliar at first because you are stepping out of old emotional habits, habits shaped by scarcity, by disappointment, by broken trust, by unmet expectations. Those patterns are dissolving now. Your spirit is shedding layers you no longer need. Michael explains that in this new season, you will no longer think from limitation. You will think from possibility. You will no longer respond from fear. You will respond from wisdom. You will no longer attach to environments that shrink you. You will gravitate toward spaces that expand you. This is what spiritual maturity feels like. Not perfection, but alignment. You are learning to trust yourself again. You are learning to trust your path. You are learning to trust the divine orchestration shaping your life. But this transformation does not come without moments of discomfort. Growth always stretches what is familiar. You may feel periods of silence where heaven feels distant, even though Michael assures you it is not. You may feel moments of emotional release, crying unexpectedly, feeling waves of memory resurfacing, or letting go of people or situations with surprising ease. This is not regression. This is cleansing. Heaven is emptying your heart of what no longer serves your journey so there is room for what is coming. Michael reminds you that your emotions are not weaknesses. They are indicators. When you feel tension around someone or something, it is a sign of misalignment. When you feel peace, it is a sign of spiritual truth. When you feel inspired, it is a sign of divine guidance. You are being trained to interpret your emotional responses as spiritual communication. Your feelings have always been speaking. Now you are learning how to listen. Heaven is also strengthening your inner authority. You will begin to trust your decisions more. You will find clarity in places where confusion once lived. You will no longer second-guess your direction. You will feel anchored, grounded, stable, even while rising. This is the emotional foundation required for abundance. Without inner stability, external miracles cannot last. But with inner stability, everything you build will stand. Michael says the next revelation will guide you into understanding how your spiritual gifts and inner calling will rise alongside your miracle. You are not just becoming emotionally stronger, you are becoming spiritually awakened. Your purpose is preparing to reveal itself with more clarity than ever before. And when that happens, you will understand why heaven orchestrated this entire journey with such precision. Stay attentive. Your spirit is evolving into the version of you that your destiny requires. Type "I embrace my transformation" in the comments if this is awakening something inside your heart. Blessing code 7171 is now active over your journey. My illuminated spirit, as you cross into this next revelation, Archangel Michael steps forward with a radiance that feels both commanding and comforting. His presence signals that you are now entering one of the most important realms of your transformation, the awakening of your spiritual gifts and the activation of your divine calling. Everything you have walked through, every struggle you survived, every breakthrough you have received, has been guiding you toward this moment. Your financial miracle may have opened the doors around you, but what is beginning now opens the door within you. Michael reveals that each chosen soul carries gifts, spiritual abilities, intuitive strengths, inner wisdom, and divine sensitivities that often remain dormant until a person reaches a certain level of readiness. For years, you may have felt glimpses of this higher self. You may have noticed moments where your intuition spoke loudly, moments where you sensed things before they happened, moments where you felt connected to something greater than yourself, even if you could not explain it. Evan now makes it clear, those moments were not coincidence. They were activations. They were previews of the spiritual power that is now awakening fully in you. You are entering a season where your spiritual senses sharpen. Your inner knowing becomes clearer. Your dreams become messages. Your intuition becomes guidance. Your heart begins to speak with a voice you can finally understand. Michael says this awakening is not separate from your money miracle. It is linked to it. Your financial breakthrough remove emotional and energetic burdens that were blocking your spiritual perception. When survival is no longer your focus, your spirit finally has room to rise. Michael shows a vision of you standing in light, with threads of energy stretching outward like pathways. Each thread represents a spiritual gift awakening within you. One thread is your intuition becoming undeniable. Another is your emotional sensitivity sharpening into insight rather than overwhelm. Another is your ability to sense truth, energy, and intention. Another is your capacity to influence your environment simply through your presence, your words, or your inner alignment. You may not have recognized these gifts as divine, but heaven has always seen them. Your calling, Michael says, will begin to reveal itself in pieces, not all at once, because your destiny is too layered, too powerful, too expansive to be understood suddenly. Instead, it will reveal itself in the form of desires, ideas, opportunities, conversations, and synchronicities that appear at exactly the right time. Heaven speaks through momentum. Pay attention to what begins moving in your life, because that movement is the language of destiny. Heaven wants you to understand that your calling is not a job title. It is not a single action or a specific career. Your calling is the impact your presence was designed to make. Some people shake the world loudly. Others transform it quietly. Both are divine. Your purpose may involve healing others, inspiring others, guiding others, building something meaningful, creating what has never existed, or raising the vibration of every room you enter. Your mere existence carries influence. Your energy influences environments even before you speak. Michael emphasizes that your calling is awakened through alignment, not effort. You do not chase purpose, you become it. As you rise into your true identity, your purpose becomes clearer because you become clearer. The financial blessing you received is not the end of your transformation. It is the fuel. It is removing distractions that once kept you from hearing your soul clearly. It is stabilizing your life so your spirit can lead without fear. Certain shifts may start happening within you. You may feel pulled toward new interests. You may lose desire for old habits, old conversations, or old environments. You may feel drawn to learning something new, helping others, speaking truth, creating, or exploring parts of yourself you previously ignored. These impulses are not random. They are guiding lights. Each one is a breadcrumb left by your destiny, urging you forward. Michael also reveals that with spiritual awakening comes sensitivity. You may feel emotions more deeply. You may sense tension in the atmosphere before anyone speaks. You may feel affected by energies that once passed unnoticed. Heaven is teaching you to understand this sensitivity not as weakness, but as a spiritual instrument. You are learning how to interpret what your spirit perceives. You are learning how to navigate the world through intuition rather than anxiety. You are learning the language of your soul. This development will also refine your vision for your life. You will begin setting boundaries effortlessly because your spirit no longer tolerates what contradicts your growth. You will find clarity where confusion once lived. You will feel a sense of purpose even if you cannot yet name it. And as this clarity strengthens, heaven will reveal the next step, a step that leads you deeper into your divine assignment. Michael says that what is awakening in you right now is rare. It is sacred. It is powerful. And it is intentional. Heaven did not pour a miracle into your life without preparing you to carry the spiritual weight of what comes next. You are being shaped into the version of yourself that destiny has been waiting for. Not a weaker version, not a wounded version, but the elevated, awakened, spiritually attuned version who walks with divine clarity and purpose. Before this part closes, Michael whispers that the next revelation will connect everything together, your miracle, your transformation, your calling, and reveal how this journey leads into your long-term destiny. What comes next will be a divine unveiling of the bigger picture, a picture you were never meant to see until now. Stay present. Your spirit is nearing its full awakening. Type "I awaken to my purpose" in the comments to seal this truth into your journey. Lesson code 4488 is now active over your life. My destined one. As you enter this final unveiling, Archangel Michael's presence surrounds you like a mantle of light. The journey you have walked through these messages has not been random, accidental, or symbolic. It has been a divine progression, step by step, revelation by revelation, breath by breath, guiding you into the truth of who you are and the destiny heaven has always prepared for you. This part brings everything together. The miracle, the transformation, the awakening, the calling, the shifts, the alignment. All of it converges here, in this sacred moment where your future begins to take its true shape. Michael begins with a truth that many never understand. Destiny is not a single event. It is the unfolding of a divine blueprint written into your soul before your birth. Every challenge you survived, every tear you shed, every moment where you felt lost, every season where you were tested, every time you rose when your spirit was tired, each moment carved strength into you. Each moment prepared you. Each moment reshaped your inner world so that when your miracle arrived, you would not collapse under its weight but rise into its fullness. Your money miracle was never just about financial breakthrough. You were the ignition point, the spark. The moment heaven said, now their path can open. Now their vision can rise. Now their purpose can breathe. It was the first domino in a spiritual sequence that will continue unfolding long after this message ends. Archangel Michael reveals that what comes next is expansion. Not the fragile, uncertain expansion of someone who fears losing what they gained, but the grounded, powerful expansion of someone who finally understands their worth and their calling. Your miracle with the key that unlocked the door, but you are the one who will walk through it. You will begin to feel an inner pull, gentle but constant, toward a future that feels larger than the life you once lived. You will feel nudges to step out of patterns that kept you small. You will feel invitations from your soul to explore new opportunities, to express yourself more authentically, to dream without the limitations that once shaped your thinking. Heaven is not pushing you, heaven is calling you forward. The difference is profound. One forces movement, the other awakens destiny. Michael shows a vision of your path ahead, wide, illuminated, and full of possibilities. You may not yet know the exact details of your purpose, but heaven assures you that clarity will come through movement. Destiny reveals itself through action, not hesitation. Every step you take in courage reveals another step. Every decision aligned with your truth opens another door. Every moment you trust your intuition strengthens your connection to the divine flow guiding your life. Heaven wants you to understand that you were chosen for this journey not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to grow, willing to heal, willing to receive, willing to believe even when you did not understand. That willingness created the opening that allowed heaven to move in your life with such precision and power. Now, Archangel Michael speaks directly into your spirit. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of a new era. You are stepping into a life shaped by purpose, fueled by abundance, governed by intuition, and protected by divine forces that walk with you. What once felt impossible will now feel natural. What once felt distant will now feel attainable. What once felt heavy will now feel aligned. You will begin to see signs of confirmation in your daily life, unexpected opportunities, aligned conversations, intuitive insights, moments of clarity that arrive at perfect timing. These signs are heaven's way of saying, keep going. You are on the right path. You are finally walking in the direction of your soul. Michael also reveals that your presence will begin to change environments. People will feel peace around you, clarity around you, inspiration around you. Not because you are trying to make an impact, but because your energy is rising. Light does not force itself. It simply shines, and everything in its presence responds. You are becoming that light. Before this part closes, heaven gives one final message. Do not fear your own potential. Do not fear the magnitude of what you are becoming. Do not fear the expansion unfolding in front of you. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what your spirit has always remembered. Your future is not foreign to your soul. It is home. This journey has prepared you. This miracle has positioned you. This awakening has aligned you. And now, destiny will reveal itself one divine moment at a time. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with acceptance. Walk forward knowing Archangel Michael goes before you, beside you, and behind you. Your story is only beginning its rise. Like this message, comment your confirmation, share it to reach other chosen hearts, hype this message, and subscribe so these divine revelations continue guiding your path. Let this light expand through you. Type "I walk in my destiny" now in the comments. Blessing code 9990 is released over your journey. Beloved, as you step into the fullness of your destiny, understand that this message is not simply for you. It is part of a greater movement heaven is releasing on the earth. When you support this mission, you help carry prophetic light into the lives of thousands who desperately need the very hope you just received. I hear this clearly. Your seed becomes a bridge for another soul's breakthrough. Your generosity becomes oil poured onto the fire of God's expanding work. This is not a donation. It is a divine act of alignment. Heaven honors those who fuel its message. If you feel the call, use super thanks, membership, with a PayPal link in the description to step into this moment. As you give, may the windows of heaven open over you, releasing unending favor, abundance, and divine elevation. Step forward boldly. Your blessing carries power,